Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be doing a bit of collage using printables in my journal. So printables are found on lots of places on the internet. These ones are from the amazing Stead, Artjournal Love. You know, you could use in place the collage sheets from Delusions, your own images you cut out of magazines. Search for collage printables on the internet and you might get some Etsy links that will take you to some. The wonderful Denise Lush as well sells some people on Patreon have monthly collage printable collections that you can download too. So they're just a really fun way to get focal images for your pages, and they usually are a little bit funky, which I really love. So I'm just starting off with my journal. Started off with some blues, mixed a few colours in the background and then stenciled over the top. That was a Stencil Girl stencil and with some lapis colour in the background. So these particular collage printables are from Artjournal Love, Stead, and you can see I had them all printed out and cut out beforehand. My girls weren't sleeping very well one night, so I just sat down with the A4 sheets that you get and print out and just cut them all out. And I find often when I'm doing printable stuff that having them already cut out is really, really handy, because it just means I can get to pages like this and I don't have to think very much about cutting out. I can just glue and go. You can see I had a few images there and I was sort of auditioning where they were going to go on the page, which is also a really fun thing to do. Once you've got them cut out, you can sort of move them around. You can go, oh, I like that there, I don't like that there. With the sheets that Claire's got, she's obviously got these lovely big bold images, but she's also got lots of little pieces that you can make borders with and so on. So quite often when I'm doing magazine collages, I do like to have a border on them. It just helps frame off my piece, and it means that I've got sort of like a contained image. If you didn't have pieces like that, you could obviously cut up scrapbooking paper, use washi tape, all sorts of ways you can make different frames for your page. But I like the really eclectic look of you know, a little bit of text, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because there's so many smaller pieces that come with it as well, I thought I'd like fill up my space as much as possible. So she had these gorgeous little tulips that had the words flourish, bloom and grow on them, which I thought I'd put in. And she also had on her, I think it's called Sweet Treats page, this donut, which I thought would make quite a cool earring hanging down. So don't, just because an image comes decorated one way, you see sort of got a beehive earring there, doesn't mean that you can't do something else. So don't feel restricted by what is there. Use it as inspiration to go, oh, okay, well, it's got a beehive there, so I can have a donut as an earring. That's fine. Or, you know, there's a fork there. Can I use that in some way, shape, or form? So it's having something like this is a really great way to spark your imagination and go, well, what can I add to this to make it my own? One of the things you always see me do when I'm doing magazine collage is outlining it with black pen or a white pen, depending on the case, but usually with a black pen. And you can sort of see how much that sharpens up the background. It sharpens up the face. It sort of makes a real focus on it. Helps push it out from the background a little bit. When I'm working with black, I'll tend to use a white pen to do that as well. I often will go in and put extra detail on the eyes so that they pop out. You can see in the background here too as well, I'm adding in some paint pen. So it really is about creating this and helping it match the story that you want to tell. So the figure down the front had sort of this metallic eye, so I got my metallic pens out and really made it metallic. Because I had it out, I thought, oh, why don't I make someone else's hair metallic, put some dots on, outline the flowers so they really pop. And it's just fun. So it means that you can add your own little bit of creativity to the page, but you have got those models, you have got the outlines there that you can work within to help you out. This lady didn't have any hair, so I decided she needed pink hair. You know, so again, just because you've got a particular paint hairstyle doesn't mean you can't change that up in any way, shape or form. Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. Sorry, I had a complete mental block there. So you can see just with my pen, I'm holding it very, very loosely. I'm doing really, really sketchy lines. Just to, again, add the detail in, add a little bit of shadow, help pop them out of the page a little bit. And, you know, you don't have to do this, because on a lot of printables, like on Claire's, she's done some of this for you. But I personally like going in over the top and adding some more. I find, one, it gets my artwork on the page as well, and two, when you do print stuff out, it's never going to be true colour. So if you can add some colour over the top, it's going to help it really pop. The other thing with the printables I've got here at the moment, my laser printer is sort of on its last legs for its cartridges, so the colour wasn't great, and I wasn't printing on particularly good paper. So all those things sort of come into play when you're thinking about it. What I do like to do when I'm printing stuff out like this is to print it onto sticker paper. Now in this case I didn't. You saw me, I had to glue everything down. The reason I really like sticker paper is once I've cut it out, I can just slap it down anywhere and it's done. I don't need to worry about, you know, really fine bits and trying to have glue on it and then the glue seeping out and so on. So if that works for you, that can be really handy. Those of you who own stuff like scans and cuts, you can print stuff like this out and put it through your scan and cut, and then it will cut it out for you. So that can help as well. So in the background with my border that I've got here, you can see I'm adding in some extra colour as well. So there's lots of black and white, which I really like, but I just wanted to add this pop of neon colour to combine some of those colours I've got in the figures, so from her hair and her cheeks, and just make it make sense on the page, and blend it sort of in together. So I've got that repetition of colour. Going in with the silver, so she's got a silver body and then sort of the red striped top. So again, just because it looks one way doesn't mean you can go in and change it to fit the colour story you have, which is really, really great. And then I dumped all my watercolour pencils over the top. I must have knocked my page too hard, and I had this sort of explosion on my page. So this stage, it looks like a lot of faffing around, which it is, but it's because I was having fun. If I'm not having fun, you'll see I put away something really, really quickly. If I'm in the zone, I'll just keep adding stuff. You know, those stars didn't need green around them, but I had the green and I was enjoying using the green pen. It was going on really nicely. So I put green everywhere. I had a black pen back in my hand, so I'm going to do a bit more. You know, I'm going to put detail on her hair. I'll put detail on her hair. I like that. So that's the way my mind works when I'm doing stuff like this. I would suggest to anyone watching this, see what you like and stop there. You can use me as a model of what not to do. So one of the things that Claire has recently released as well through Funky Fossil Designs is a page of collage papers already printed out, and had these lovely big chunky words on it, which I really liked. So I had this space that I could stick the Imagine down. Again, to help blend it into the page, I'm going in with my pink pen and doing a bit of a drop shadowy bit around it, using my black pen to again give it a border so it blends into the page, and then some pink around the outside. Really, really simple stuff, but it just helps, I don't know, make it all tie together, make it all feel like it's sort of layers on top of each other rather than just individually added onto the page. So silly little things like putting a border on, or putting dots in the border, or putting a little bit of that white pen around the edges is going to make a huge difference. When I'd finished, I decided I wanted to do some writing this page. I haven't journaled in my journal for quite a while. I've been doing a lot of visual journaling, so with not many words on the page, or leaving it to the quotes to speak. But on this page, I just wanted to spill my guts a little bit, so I just drew some really wonky lines in the background, and then I'm just writing on the page about imagination, using your imagination, blooming and growing, basically it was, you know, stream of consciousness of what was going on in my head. You can sort of see me rest my head in my hand and just going right. So while it makes sense, it's just, you know, it's just how I was feeling on the day. There was no great groundbreaking moments in the writing. And the reason I like to write like this in my journals, I'll either write in two ways. One, I'll do it as asemic writing, where it's that really scribbly writing where even I can't go back and read it again. It really is just going blah on the page and writing it in such a way that I need to get it out, but I can't read it again. In this case, I don't mind if I go back and read it again. It's nothing secret. There's no big deal in it. It's just me writing for writing's sake. So I draw squiggly lines on the page and then just write to the size of the lines. So the lines are sort of wavy, so my letters are big and small and go on to the next lines and so on. What I like about this style of writing is it really sort of adds some pattern work into the background. So certainly at this distance on the screen, it's hard to read, but you can sort of see that black patterning across the background. Close up, if I take my time, I can actually read what's still there. I also decided I wanted to add in a little bit more yellow to the page. So I, in a fit of madness, but I actually really liked how it turned out, all the circular enclosed parts of my text or font, which I am sure there is a word for, but I just don't know what it is, I've coloured in with my neon yellow pen. And that just gives a lovely sort of sprinkle of that neon-y colour in the background and contrasts really well with the blue, which I loved. So, you know, again, didn't need to do that, but I was having fun sitting there doing my work, so it just added that little extra pop of colour. So here is the close-up of how I've used these images and how they all blend together. So I hope you have a go at using printables if you come across any. If you don't have them, go get an old magazine and cut those up and get weird and random things and draw all over the top of them. You certainly don't need to go and buy anything purchased. Obviously though, sometimes it is really convenient to do that. So check out the description box below for more links, and until next time, bye for now.